Now, with millions of people using social media every minute of the day, platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are constantly changing, and I can't keep up.
I just tweeted again. All right, here with the latest upgrades and tweaks to your favorite sites is digital marketing strategist Patricia Cesaire. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. Happy Friday.
Woo. Now, listen, I need you to help me, okay? Because I know that change is supposed to be good. It seems like every time I get used to something, like I figure out how to work the new Facebook design, and then they change everything.
I know. You know what, it's great because you've got the fundamentals, which is important, which is that you want to make sure that you're presenting yourself in a positive way across all of these social media platforms. You want to make sure that you know what the privacy settings and information for keeping your brand protected are on the platform and managing your reputation. So you've got the basics, I think. Most people understand these things are pretty important. When it comes to the upgrades, you get an expert to bring in some helpful ways to understand what's new and navigate them, and that's something that we can do simply and clearly today. So that's why
it seems like a lot of the platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're just stealing little nuances from each other to try to make it,
to keep up.
to keep up with the game. We just need one thing where we can just do everything out of that one space.
Right.
Hopefully we can create something like that. But before we do, we have a lot of other changes to get to.
Oh, no,
right?
we have something that's created actually specifically for that. So
Really?
yes, what you're talking about essentially is a social media dashboard. Hootsuite is a great one. I use it for my clients currently. So I've got a couple of different social media platforms that I manage across a number of different networks. And Hootsuite is great particularly because it allows you to take a number of different social media pages and center them on one platform. So it's a dashboard in essence. I can walk you through it now.
You have so many in there. How can you find it?
Well, I know. I've always got to sort of center. But Hootsuite does basically a number of things. It allows you to take, and you'll see some of my client pages, so just disregard that. But you can take Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and you can basically integrate them all onto this one dashboard that allows you to send messages directly, send out tweets or posts directly as well. You can also take a look at what everyone else who's following you is doing.
Reconnect it somehow too, so we can see it on the screen again. You disconnected it. Was that
Did we
through
disconnect?
the server?
AirPlay.
I don't know if you have AirPlay
Let's
back
see. Let's
on.
go back to it.
But while
so
you're talking about that, and while you're trying to get AirPlay back on, tell us the importance of these social media sites making all these changes.
Well, first off, it's great because they're optimizing based on feedback. So what users are actually discussing in real time about what they don't like about specific platforms or what they're connecting with in terms of trends when it comes to consumption, these platforms are now figuring out, okay, let's make this a little bit better. So where we've oftentimes complained about Facebook, for example, not necessarily being the platform you feel like you're connecting as well as you used to because no one's using the phone anymore, it's now integrated an app that allows you to specifically talk and speak on the phone while you're using Facebook. So it's actually connecting you a lot with. You know, we've complained about that a lot, and so now it's like, well, you don't actually have to just have a relationship with someone that is simply on Messenger. You can actually have a phone call and a conversation with them via Messenger. So I can walk you through that as well. So yeah, tell me where you want to begin. I guess the key thing to keep in mind, just so we can be clear on that, is that with all of these social media platforms, the more that we respond and discuss them, the more the developers will get a better sense intuitively of what we'd like to see in terms of an upgrade or an experience. And so the great thing about these platforms are that as long as we keep discussing them and showing with our interaction what we'd like to see more of, these developers are going to enhance the experience for us, which is great.
Now you mentioned Facebook, so let's take us through some of the other changes that are happening to Facebook. And you said you're allowing us to reach our friends in a new way, and that's where the video chatting thing you mentioned, right?
Well, actually, you can actually have a phone call conversation with someone now because, you know, Facebook acquired WhatsApp, which was a free texting and phone app that allowed you to make calls internationally. So it was really, really big in South America, really big for anyone who travels a lot. I know I used it when I was in Paris last year. And it's great because you don't have to pay anything additional for these calls. Well, the great thing with Facebook now is that they've acquired WhatsApp for $16 billion. And everybody was wondering, well, what are they going to do with this? Well, here's what they did. They now allow you to, and let's just pretend we're going to click on one of these particular people that are in your messenger. You can actually click, and as you do that, go into your Facebook Messenger, wherever you're chatting with someone, depends on what you're looking at, you can actually call them. And I'm going to hang up now. But you can actually,
who just hung up on me?
Ty's going to say, why is Trisha butt dialing me? But no, you can actually call from Messenger now based on this app. So this actually launched last week, and it's great because with this new acquisition, you're saving a lot more. You don't have to worry about these crazy calls. And also, while you're interacting with someone, this is the great thing. We always say that now we're getting so much more disconnected and no one calls anyone anymore. Well, if you're messaging someone on Facebook, say anyone, it could be just about anyone, a family member, a friend, a new person that you find attractive, you can actually go, I want to give you a call and hear your voice.
But how does it work? Do you have to register your phone number in Facebook?
Download
or as long
Facebook
as they're in your
Messenger.
calendar?
No, download Facebook Messenger, and everyone that you're friends with within your chat sequence is now eligible to be called up via their WhatsApp partnership. So you can literally press that phone icon, and it dials directly to whomever is also a friend of yours on Facebook and on Messenger.
So you can now butt dial on Facebook
yes,
too.
You can. Yes,
not
you
just
can.
your phone.
But I think it's great because now we can hear each other's voices a little bit more. And I think there was a point where at one point there was a disconnect with that. We were doing a lot of texting and Facebook messaging, and now you can actually talk again.
Well, for the people that don't like to talk, they like using emojis.
Yeah.
What's going on with Twitter and now their capability of using them?
This is cool. Well, you know, Twitter is great because there are lots of ways that you can excel and push out your potential to get more followers and more retweets. And I think we all know that photos are really big, but you can actually now use your emojis on Twitter. So if you're a big person who does a lot of that, plus your tweet, you can actually do that. I do the lips a lot. I'm a little flirtatious. I do the lips. I mean, it doesn't have to be about anything, romantic, but I like to just kiss off on things.
Now, do you have to
graduated from the smile.
You like to do the smile?
That's all I got,
the
like
winks,
smile and frown.
The winks. I know friends who do the monkey with the eyes thing a lot. And now those are all visible on Twitter. Before, if you put up emojis prior to that, it would just show these little blocks, like you really couldn't see them. So now you've got a more dynamic visual experience on Twitter, which is great.
And now, don't we have some brown emojis now? Don't we have
brownies?
some? Yeah, brown emojis.
Oh,
yes,
browns.
we have. Yes, we have emojis.
Did they integrate?
Yes.
I'll have to take a look.
They have integrated
as well. They should.
I might go get
it
one.
It reflects the marketplace.
A brown one with a fist in the air.
That's great. I never knock that. The other great thing is that it's really great because Twitter, like I said, there are ways in which you can enhance how many retweets you get. And right now, with Facebook and Twitter especially, when you place a photo on Twitter, your potential to get retweeted is up by 35%.
Wow.
So how do they respond to that? Based on the fact that people want more retweets and they want more followers, you can now tag people in your photos. So it's really cool because, you can take a look at any photo, like this one. Shannon and I took a photo earlier.
Fantastic photo.
And you can obviously put the photo out like most people tend to do, but this time, if I want to make sure that you get it and that you are interactive and that all of your fans see this photo, I can tag you in it. I just click on your face, this little stud muffin, and add you to it.
Now this is great too because it doesn't take away from any of your characters that you normally have. You get what, 140 or something like that?
No, yeah, you can actually tweet and not lose space.
I love that.
So I just tagged Mr. Shannon Lanier. I would then retweet that. And I would actually tweet that, and then when you retweet it or when it just comes out into the space, people will see that we're connected, and also your followers will see it, and possibly that will enhance our retweet experience. So it's a great way to sort of stay on top of what's happening with this great trend, which is that people want to see more tweets with photos. They are the most popular tweets, and if you want to enhance your retweet experience, why not tag those photos with the people that you're interacting with?
Okay,
this
so
is magic.
Magic.
This is all magic.
It's pretty cool.
I need to know, what else do we need to get?
Vine. We haven't talked about Vine.
Okay, well, the cool
We have Facebook, we got Twitter. What about Vine?
We'll talk about, we're going to come back to Facebook too. I wanted to show you one more thing. But with Vine, it's great. Now you can send direct messages via video. With these photo and video sharing sites, I think privacy has become sort of obsolete. And what they're looking to do now is to make sure that you can actually send some content directly and privately to whomever you want to send it to. So when you have a great video, but you want it maybe just the kids and you don't always want to send it to everyone, but you're connected to their grandmother or a close friend of yours, you send it directly through Vine. And this, I always put this disclaimer out because it's really important. Make sure that when you're sending these videos that you understand that once you send it out, that content is no longer yours.
So although you think you're sending a sexy video to somebody privately,
you're giving it to the
Vine
world.
still owns rights to that video.
I'd like to think that we all know that, but we know for sure that teenagers do it all the time, and college students as well, and quite frankly, sometimes adults. I noticed that James Franco story that you mentioned. And I think that we've just got to be careful with the information that you send out. Once you send it, just know that the potential to be seen by every and anyone is there now. So just be careful of that. Make sure that the content you're sharing and discussing is appropriate and something that you won't be mortified about later on.
Okay, well, I'm going to share this information with everybody now.
Thank you.
I don't know anything. We got to like walk me through step by step.
This is what I do. This is my bread and butter. So we got to keep that in mind. So these changes are definitely pretty cool.
All right, well, thank you so much for hipping us to all the changes and tweaks in social media.
I'm happy to do it. This is my business.
Did you say hipping? Hipping us?
Hipping
us to
okay,
it?
I need an app to stay cool lingo. App for cool lingo.
I just
I'm
keep
going to work
you
on
current.
it.
How about that?
I'll work on it in the commercial break. We'll be right back with more Rise Entertainment 360.